oddly enough, as it relates to challenges that dealerships are facing, some dealers are very close to becoming victims of their own success. And what I mean by that is the year 2020, at least in the retail automobile business, was surprisingly, many people would say, one of the best years in the history of the industry, from a retail volume and from a profitability standpoint. And when that happens, in dealerships, on average, at least the ones that we were working with, were selling on average 20 to 30% more retail vehicles than they had the previous year, and profitability was up 10, 15, 20, 25% depending on the dealership. It's easy to start believing that this is going to continue. And what happens in those scenarios, and we've seen it happen numerous times over the years, is the basic fundamentals that were in place that allowed them to be successful during this last year tend to fall by the wayside. And an example of that, maybe rather than presenting all of the products available to the consumer, they might pick or choose one or two. Because of the sheer volume of business that they have coming in, they're not as concerned about each particular car deal and maximizing the profitability of that. They tend to start focusing on the overall profitability, which is then subject to fluctuations in retail volume. In other words, if volume goes down and you're not focused on profitability for each car deal, your profitability will flow right down with the volume. And so for us, in some instances with our clients, it's helping them to maintain a vigil on something as simple as, if we started selling 10 fewer cars a month, how would we make up that difference? What would that equate to in dollars and cents? And how would we make up that difference so that we don't suffer a loss of profit, an overall loss of profitability? And as shocking as that seems, you would think that people would be focused on maintaining a certain level of production or performance. It's very truly something that can very easily get out of focus, and clients will essentially, as they rode the wave of success up, they'll ride the wave of mediocrity back down. And so for us, it's helping people to stay focused on doing the right things consistently, putting the right people in place. If we're expanding and adding departments, making sure that we're involved in that selection process, to give the client the input on not just does this person have the capacity or the capability or experience to do the job, but how do they fit with the rest of the team, right? You know, personalities can be so important. Making sure that not only is the department producing, but it's producing in a way that positively influences the rest of the organization. In other words, teamwork and cohesion. So we see that as something that we're going to need to address in the near future. Many of our clients, they don't believe that the best times ever are likely to continue, especially with the change in the administration and the federal government. And so, you know, we're kind of looking at it as a, well, what do we need to do next? You know, if this happens, now what? And that's really what we bring to the table for our clients. That sort of vision followed with, you know, here's a prescription of how we can overcome those challenges.